Hi, everybody. Welcome to Hang Out in Art. I'm Kathy Berg. I stream every Tuesday at 10 Eastern. I stream live. And today we're going to work on some grid art and doodling, I think. I was watching Janet yesterday when I was riding back from Chicago in the car and saw that she was doing her dangles. She was doing some dangles and some Zen doodling. And I don't know, I just thought that the doodles might be something fun to put on the grid art that I've been doing. So when I got home, I got out, this is a book I'd gotten several years ago called Creative Doodling and Beyond. And it's by Stephanie Corfey. And it's just a book about doodling. It gives you doodle inspiration. And I pulled this out and started working in it. So I'll do a quick flip of that while we're waiting for everybody to come in. And then also I do prompts every week. And I've been kind of curating the prompts myself the past few weeks. So I went ahead and picked some prompts this morning, and they are across the screen. I'll read those out to you. Today's prompts are watercolor, doodle a border, put a burn on it, washi tape, and then I use the color cube code or color cube card 165, and the colors are sand, crimson, slate gray, charcoal, and black. So that way you guys can start working on the you can start working on your prompts right away if you're going to play along. I'm going to show a few things, and then I'll probably do a quick prompt card, and then we'll get into the grid art. So how is everybody today? Let's see, who is here? Okay. Good morning, Terry. Hi, Dar, Dawn, Dee Dee. Let's see, Missy, good to see you. And we've got a bunch of people here. Good morning, Anne. Good to see everybody this morning. Hope you all had a good weekend. Weather here has been gorgeous. It's just, the only bad thing is we have not gotten much rain. We could use some rain, but otherwise it has been a beautiful fall. Hey, Janet, you inspired me yesterday, Janet, to do some doodling after watching you. I was watching you on my way home in the car. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to kind of incorporate it into my grid art. Hey, Mama Juju, good to see you. Hi, Tina. It's so good to see everybody in the morning. Let me know, they're just finishing up cutting the grass. Let me know if you can hear any noise in the back. But so the prompts for today are down at the bottom of the screen, and I'm going to do a quick flip of this doodling book. You've had I know the weather has just been awesome, Tina. I'm afraid of what's coming though. Okay, so this is called Creative Doodling and Beyond. It's by Stephanie Corfey. I don't know when I got it. I've had it for a while. Let me see inside. Okay, so it's copyright 2011. So I could have had this for a long time, because when I first started art journaling and stuff, I liked doodling. So I had bought several books. But oh, you think you have that book, Janet? But you should pull it out. I love it, because what I like about it, you know, she just gives you like lots of inspiration for journaling, different ideas, you know, the typical, you know, what materials, stuff like that, you know, sparking creativity, make your lists, you know, when you can't think of something, lots of ideas. And then she gives you samples of doodling and then leaves you space leaves you space to do the doodle right there in the book. So you're not working in another book. So here, all the things in different colors were her doodles. And then I did the doodle. I copied the doodle or made it my own right underneath. Let's see. Yeah, go look for it. It's a fun book. Okay, so you had it and passed it along. Oh, that was nice, Dee Dee. So it starts out with borders. So she gives you a space, you know, she shows you borders and then gives you a space how to do it. Here's some more borders. These are the ones that she did. And then I did mine over here. Okay, Anne has this book. Oh, cool. Lots of people have the book, it sounds like. Okay, so have you guys used the book yet? Because I had used it. I had done the first page and then I must have put it away, gotten, you know, interested in other things. Okay, so, but what I like about it is once you start doing the doodling, it kind of gets your mind going and then you kind of do, I don't know, you kind of make them your own after a while. Okay, Anne's used hers. Good. All right, here's some picture frames, some more borders. So here's her borders, and then here's my borders. So what got me thinking that I could incorporate this with the doodle art was for these little clusters of doodles. And I thought these would be cute, like when you take your doodle art. So when you take your grid art, this is all done with watercolor. And Seth Apter came out with some new ArtFoamies. So I used his ArtFoamies. I did some of the scribbling with the gold ink that we've all been using. And I thought what would be fun is when you do the, I've been looking for different things to put on the grid art. So last week I had started with this one. And then I had gotten Tandy Art's new collage book. She's not shipping right now, but she does have a book on Amazon, which I think Dee Dee has this too. I was going to show this last week, but we ended up buying a new router. That's a whole new different story. So I thought, oh, that would be fun to use some of her stuff and cut them out and use them as a focal point on the little cards. And then, so I had done that on there. And I had done a smaller grid art because this one I had just done on cardstock and the paper got kind of bumpy. Okay. And then, so here's some more. This is actually watercolor. This is different watercolors than I used on here. And then more of the Tandy Art stuff. This was some fodder school that I was doing. And then this is the most recent one I did with my ArtFoamies. Seth Apter came out with some new ArtFoamies, and KP did a Zoom last week. And while she was doing the Zoom with Seth showing the ArtFoamies, I had been working on this. I'm like, oh my gosh, the ArtFoamies will look great. So I will show you later my technique that I used for this. But then when I was watching Janet, it's all like a rabbit trail. You see one thing and it ends up over here. I saw her doodling, so I got this out. And then I saw these doodle clusters. So I'm like, oh, wow, those are really cute. And I started, I'm like, oh, those birds are really cute. So I started doing the birds and then I did the other things. But then I thought these little doodle clusters would be a fun thing to do in the grid art, squares. Because after you're done, I don't keep them like this. Some people do these in journal books. I like to cut mine up. This was another one I did with the with the ArtFoamies. I cut these up, and now on this one, on these that I've already cut up, I'm going to use some collage soup things and glue those on here. And then I'll probably put like maybe a word or something, some kind of fun saying or something on there. But I like to do these and then maybe have some kind of focal point. But I just thought that these little doodle clusters would be a fun thing. They're like just the right size to put on the squares. So I think what I'll do today is I'm going to do a couple grid art with watercolor backgrounds, which I watercolor, but I don't watercolor a lot. So this has been like the perfect thing for me to play with and just get to know the watercolors and the brushes and how stuff works. So that's where I got started with this. Was I wanted to play with the watercolors more, so I knew how to use them. And then that led, one thing leads to another. And so today we're going to do, I'm going to do a couple of these. One I'm going to do with the Seth Apter stamps from ArtFoamies, because these stamps are unique. I think they work really good with this type of art. And then I'm going to do a second one and see how, and try to do some of this cluster doodling in the squares. So, yeah, Janet said watercolor equals dangerous, expensive, slippery slope. I know. Well, luckily, because we have so many enablers here. I mean, I have a pretty good. Okay, Charlie. Well, you know what? Leave. If it's not your thing, just leave. Okay. Because we have such good enablers here. I have kind of a good stash of watercolors. I know it's been the past week. Last week I was doing a bunch of stuff when I couldn't stream. So anyway, so I'm going to get started. I'm going to do a quick flip of this, and then I'll do my card. And I've been trying to do the prompts with just things I've been working on, so I can kind of incorporate my art journaling into what the weekly prompts are. And they're random for you guys. They're random for me that I haven't done them before, but I'm trying to make, I think I'm planning to make maybe a set of Hangout and Art prompt cards. So we'll see. We'll see. Oh, dang it. I wanted to be mean to him. I never get to be mean. Okay, well, you know what, Tina? If he comes back, you can be mean to him for a couple minutes, and if he gets annoying, we'll just boot him, okay? Yeah, feel free. So just, and she gives you different ideas. Experiment with line weights. These are doodle tags. Choose a shape, use that as a starting point. Blind doodles, don't look at your paper, make the scribblies, then look at your paper and put the details in. You're welcome, Tina, anytime. Lots of place to practice. It's just kind of a fun book to get you started doodling. And like I said, once you start, looking at hers, you kind of go off on a tangent and then you make it your own. Thank you, Dar. Don't mess with Dar. I know how I always go, everybody looks at streams, looks at it. Oh yeah, no, this isn't my thing. You quietly leave. If you want to be rude here, go ahead. I don't really care. It doesn't bother me. Okay, so yeah, so this is a fun book. If you have it, pull it out. If you don't, take a look at it. But I'm glad I pulled this out. It kind of got my brain working. So, hey, Jeannie. Hey, Devin. It was nothing, Devin. Just a troll who didn't care for the stream. You know, what can you do? You can't please everybody. All right, so I'm going to. Hey, Joey. Good to see you. Welcome. I'm gonna get out my recipe card and do my quick prompts. And then, oh, before I do that, just so you guys can keep working on the prompts, I did buy a few things. Nothing expensive, just some interesting things that that I saw online. So I showed you the Tandy Art cutout collage. And then I was watching, who was I watching? Art Journal Love. I was watching Art Journal Love, and she was using the Duralar prints. Have you guys seen these? They're just they're the acetate things that are printed on, and you use them in your art journaling, and you can, you know, stick them on top of stuff that you've already made. You know, like these would be fun. Like you could use these. Oh, okay. So you haven't seen them. All right. So these are by Duralar. They're called Duralar prints, and they're by Graphics Duralar Film with pre-printed designs by creative industry artists. So they're just, what do you here? So they're just, you know, stuff printed, kind of like Dina Wakely's prints that she has, but these are by different artists. But looking at these, you could also put these on top of your grid art too. You could cut those out and put them on top. And what I got, I don't know if you guys have seen this, it's Artist Tack, also by Graphics, and supposedly you know what, Ian, you can be here. Nobody really cares, but go ahead and stay. Stay if you want. Obviously, you're being entertained. So, all right. So supposedly, you use this art tag on the back of the Duralar, and you don't see it because it's hard. Like when you use the glue, you can see the glue through the acetate. But let me cut out one of these and see how it works. See if we can see the it through the acetate. Let me find the scissors. All right. So here we go. Yeah, Dar, I think people are bored. People are back to school and bored, I think. All right. All right, so I've cut this out. All right, so this one. All right, that kind of fits on there. That looks pretty good on there. All right, let me cut this off a little bit smaller so it doesn't go over the okay. All right, so that's going to fit right in here. And then let me get the graph Art Tack. Has anybody used Art Tack by Graphics? All right, so let me cut this the size of what I want to put on there. Thanks, Devin. Yeah, I've done some grid journaling before, but I don't know. I really wanted to get out my watercolors and practice, and I don't know. That's just seemed to be like a good thing to practice on. And I've been watching Denise Love, and she does the grid art stuff when she's doing her art. So it just kind of evolved from that. All right, so all right, so we peel this off, put it on the back. Okay, YouTube support live stream warning. Okay, so we put this down here. So I guess it works like kind of like double-sided tape, but it's thin. So it all goes across here. Let's see. All right, so there I do see it on there. All right, it does leave a little film. And then let's see what happens. All right. Okay, so it works pretty good. I can see, like if I look up close, because I just put this on here, I can see it a little bit. But when you're further away and have this in your journal and something else, then you really don't know it's there. If you're looking for it, you can find it. But that's kind of cool. So another thing we can do with these grid squares. Let's see. Honor your worth. What is your worth, right? Honor your worth, joy. So these are fun. These will be fun to put in your art journal, use on ATC cards. This might be fun. So yeah. So Art Journal Love was using these in her journal. So I thought you guys might be interested in that. And then here's the other one. Let's see what's in here. Are they just for decoration? Oh, okay. Thanks, Star. Because you know what you could also do? Like I might use this in one of my art binders, and I could you could use it on its own. Like if I wanted, let's see which one. Like if I just wanted acetate, some kind of acetate over my in my art binder, like dividing a couple pages, you could use it for that. I think she also used alcohol inks on it to blend in. So yeah, so you can, I mean, they're like ephemera for your art journal that you can probably use. I wonder if you could use Poscas. I don't know if the Posca would work because it's slippery, but definitely alcohol inks and stuff like that. So, all right. Hey, Belinda. Anybody else who's come in? Good to see you. So those are just couple things that I found last week. Some interesting stuff. Let me put these over here. So yeah, but that just adds another layer, just another layer, more dimension to your cards, whatever. So, all right, so we got that. And all right, anything else? Okay, I did. Here's just some, I like paper and stuff like that. This was, I can't remember who I was watching, but somebody was doing collage and they were using paper with bead sack patterns on it. So I looked it up on Amazon, and this is all paper, but it's seed cloth bead sack fabric. That's kind of a tongue twister. That's printed out on paper that you can do collage with. So if you guys are kind of, it's a country vibe. I've always liked the bead sack cloth. I like the patterns on there. So just kind of a fun, just some fun collage papers if you're into that look. But there are, does it say how many sheets? There's a lot in here. I'd say at least 25 or 30 sheets. And it also, it gives a history of the bead sack cloth that they're using. So yeah. All right. So fun. And then, smaller pieces, bigger. Oh, that's cool. This is the background they put the chicken wire in. That would be fun. So yeah. And if you hear snoring, I've got 2 dogs with me. Jackie came down the stairs today, so he's hanging out with me, and Ziggy came with them, but they're both over here snoring. So that's what you're hearing if you hear the snoring in the background. So yeah, so those are fun. And this was on Amazon. Bead sack fabric collage cut create. And there really isn't an author. Oh. Shisha Publishing is the publisher. And Shisha Craft One is she's on YouTube. She has an Etsy shop. So yeah, so check that out. I couldn't find this book on Amazon. I bought it on Amazon. I'll have to get it. I'll post it later. And when I get a minute, I'll try to find it. Let me see here. You know what? Let me see real quick. Since we're kind of in between stuff. All right. Let me go to my Amazon. Okay, Amazon, here we go. So have you guys okay. That's enough of that. Okay, here we are. Let me go to my orders and then I can see if I can find it. All right. Okay, here we go. All right, I found it, Devin. I know sometimes these books are hard to find. Oh, okay, thanks. All right. All righty. I know, I just did, Dee Dee. I just did. I just did. You know, just ignore him. And if he doesn't stop, I don't know. We won't stream, I guess. I don't know. Although I haven't. Okay. All right. He is blocked. So hopefully. I know, Tina. I'm just going to go ahead and do the prompts. And if it gets too annoying, we'll just, I don't know. All right. All right. So I think. All right, since I'm going to use watercolor, I have a question. If I'm going to use watercolor, should I put gesso here and then the watercolor will work on top of the gesso? Yeah, I'm just going to keep going in. I don't care. I'll try that. We'll see. We shall see. Okay, thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. All right. Alrighty, here we go. Okay, waterwork. Okay, so what would you, oh, so should I, what should I use, Janet? What's a good thing to put on the card for watercolor? Should I just use sandpaper to take the shine off the card? Do you think that would help? Let's see. I'll just try different things and see what works. Do I have a, you know what? Let me look really quick. I'm not going to take a lot of time to look. I might have some if I don't sand it. Okay, I'm going to sand it because I'm not sure. I think I have absorbent browns, but I don't know where they are right away. All right, so I'm just going to sand this. You know, Janet, I see, Janet. You know, just for the ignorant people that are here, people talk in caps so the person streaming can see them. So, okay. All right. So, hey, Lena, good to see you. Hey, Lena, I've been seeing your portraits that you've been posting. They're really pretty. I really like them. Okay, here we go. All right, so this is sanded, and I have my You could. I mean, I don't care. You keep them. You could keep them occupied, I guess. I'm trying to ignore them, but I don't care. I just hope they go. Wish they'd go away, but. Oh, it's for a September challenge. Cool. Who's challenge, Lena? Yeah. I mean, I can. If anybody's talking to me, I can see them in the cap. So, all right. So let's see. All right, so I wet my brush and the colors are crimson slate gray. Yes, please, says Tina. Okay, so I usually I'll start with the lightest color first. That's what I've been kind of doing. Okay, so one of them is sand. So I've got two different I have two different watercolor things. This is the Sennelier watercolors, and then I have the Kuretake Art Nouveau watercolors. Okay, so I'm gonna go with the sand. And then I think what I might do is just kind of do this like I'm doing my cards, my grid art. And then what I was doing was in between, I'd let them dry before I add another color on. So we'll see how this goes. Hey, Kathleen, good to see you. Hi, Laverne. Hey, Laverne, did you get the Happy Mail? I know that I think Devin, did you get the Happy Mail? It says that you got it, and then Terry's is still in transit. All right. Shit. Yeah, I could. Just a minute. Yeah, it says that I checked it today and it said it was delivered. I think it was Saturday. Yeah, hold on just a sec. All right, let me put another layer on, and then while that's okay, you know what? He's right. It's not going to work because he's just going to come back, and it's not shocking, okay? Oh, sorry. Um, let's see. So there's my sand. And we've got some crimson. But yeah, this is kind of staying down pretty good. All right. So we've got this. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna check with StreamYard on something. Okay, hold on, guys. I think I'm going to make Dar and Devin both. Hold on a sec. Okay. Oh, okay, Laverne. I just wanted to make sure because it didn't show that it was delivered. Okay, if you look at the bottom of the screen, there's prompts, and I'm doing the weekly prompts on a vintage card. So all right, now that the crimson's dried, let's do the slate gray. Okay, Devin said she watched this mindful video about doodling yesterday and thinks some of you might like it. Oh, cool, Devin. Good luck, Jackie. Okay. All right, I'm going to step away for a second and I need to run upstairs. And when I come back, we're going to do the grid art and I will do the prompts off stream. So give me a minute and we will get to the grid art section of this. Sorry, guys, my mind just got really distracted. So I will be right back and hopefully more focused when I get back. Thanks. Okay, I'm back. So we have two options. I'll keep going and just ignore chat and do my thing, or I can start a new stream. I'll figure out, I can't remember right now how to make Dar and Devin a manager, but I'm leaning towards starting a new stream in about 10 minutes, and I'll figure out how to make them a manager. It's been a while, so I just need to look it up. So what do you guys think? Try to work through it or set up a new stream? If I set up a new stream, it'll just take me a few minutes. If they're managers, and they can just go in and just keep hitting the button anytime these assholes keep coming back in. Yeah, can Dar and can the mods just keep putting them in timeout? Okay. Okay, I see, I hate to just do subscribers only. Okay, what we'll do is, if he's gone now, keep, okay. I'll just ignore, if you guys are talking to me, do what we usually do. Talking caps if you're trying to get my attention. Otherwise, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to work on the grid art. I will look up at, I'll look up at chat. If it gets to where I can't tell what's going on, I'll just keep working on the art and not look in chat. But go ahead and talk amongst yourselves. If you have any questions, just do caps so I can see it. Okay, Darl, keep getting rid of him. Okay, yeah, just get rid of him. I'm sorry that you guys have to do that. Oh, I know. I know. It's not offending me. It's distracting me, which is kind of unfortunate. But if I just focus on what I'm doing, oh no, I'm not, and I'm not apologizing. I just it's our jobs. Okay. I wasn't expecting this, and I have to say I've never had problems with trolls before. This is the first time, so it just kind of threw me for a loop. But I'll just start my grid art stuff, and then we'll go on from there. And plus, I was not really liking the colors on the prompts once I started doing them. I'll have to figure out like what to do with that. Yeah, it's my lucky day. Yeah, karma's a bitch, right? Okay. So let me get my paper out. And then here's, I did find this paper on Amazon. It's Canson Graduate Watercolor paper. It wasn't too expensive. It's 11 by 14. And that's what I've been using. That's what I've been using for my grid art instead of the cardstock, and it seems to work better. So, all right, let me just do this. All right. Oh, and excuse me, I need to go check on Jack. He's kind of crying. He wants to get up on the couch, and he needs help. So I will be right back. Always something, right? Always something. in here. Let me do that. Come on, Jackie. You want up on the couch? You want to get up? Let's see. Get over here. Jack, come. Here. Get up. Okay. All right, I'm back. I'm not sure what he wants. He didn't want to get up, so. All right, yeah, Jack's arthritis is getting pretty bad. I feel bad for him. He wanted to come downstairs though today. He likes being down here with me, so I let him come down, and then he'll just hang out with me, and then I'll help him back up when he wants to go up. I know. They do have those. But what we did, he needs help going up the stairs. He's okay going down. We got him he has a harness with a handle on it, and he just needs a little support when he's going up. So we use that. But they do have, I've seen the little elevator things, and we actually have like a balcony that opens up over to our family room, and we could actually put a little lift up there for him. But he's okay. He's comfortable. He's got his he gets his Librela shots for arthritis. We give him anti-inflammatories. We give him all the stuff, and then the thing that seemed to really help a lot is he gets CBD oil twice a day, and that really just kind of relaxes him and makes him more comfortable. So yeah, he looks like he when we see him walk, you feel so bad for him, but other than that, he's still like, he wants to do stuff. He wants to he's not suffering. He's like active, still wants to do all the things. So we're just keeping an eye on him, and hopefully he'll stay like that for a while. All right. Yes. Doggy gummies. We have, actually, it's CBD oil, and I put it in his food. Do I ever you know what? I have, maybe I should this morning. That might help. It's an oil that I put a certain amount for his weight in, but I was reading it. It is human grade, so it is safe for humans. I haven't tried any, but I don't know. I'm thinking maybe this morning I should. It might help me focus a little bit better with the trolls. I know we got steps too, and he wouldn't use the steps. So, but what we did, because he likes to sleep with us at night, we took the box spring off our bed, so it just has the mattress, and it's easier for him to get up. We can help him up that way. So yeah, but the harness helps a lot, Kathleen, because 3 of his legs are fine. It's just the back right leg. He can't put a whole lot of weight on it, so having the harness just helps keep weight off that. Yeah, losing weight, that does help too. But try the harness. Because it just helps keep a lot of the weight off. All right, here we go. All right. Okay. Okay, so here's, all right, I think I'm going to use the Sennelier watercolors because they're a little bit brighter. And I find on this size paper, I've been using a number 14 watercolor brush. So I just kind of load it up with water and start going. Let's see. Yeah, I've done the grid art before, but I've never, you know, I've done it with collage. I've done it with acrylic paint. I'd never thought about doing it with watercolor. So I just kind of randomly put color down, and it's going to get pretty ugly looking too. I go over it if I want it a little more deep. It's going to get pretty ugly looking as you go on, but as soon as you take that tape off, it's really nice. Just random strokes of color. All right, and then I kind of, with the watercolor, I let it, I kind of dry it in between. I dry it in between so the colors are kind of set and they don't blend into each other and make mud. Oh, right, Jen. I know. I love when you take the tape off. It just really transforms it. It transforms the art. Okay, so what have I been doing? Usually start with kind of a medium color, and then I go into a darker. Maybe just use the tip of the brush. And this is a fun thing to do. Turn some music on. It can just be very relaxing. You can kind of end up in the zone. All right, I'm just gonna keep I know it really. In fact, I should. I wish I had taken pictures with the other ones I did because I was getting kind of discouraged with the first one I did. Okay, so just for the people that weren't here in the beginning, um, this doesn't look like much right now, but what we're going to end up is something that looks like this. And then I'll cut it up and it'll be, 12 different pieces of art. So just to give you an idea of what's going on here, it takes a bit before it starts really looking like anything. All right, then I might go in with some lighter colors. Let's do some pinks. I haven't really done that. Hey, Starla. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. All right, and then shoot. Get over here. All right, let me let that dry. While that's drying, I'm just going to check on Jack. Hold on. Hey, buddy, you want to get up? Hey, Doug. Hey, Doug. Harness. There's the harness. Shh, I'm streaming. Okay, that should be dry. Hey, bartender daughter. Good to see you. All right. So I want to make sure this one's really dry because I'm going to go in with some lighter color. And I think what I might do, is pick some white and see what happens with the white. All right. So this has just helped me like just figure out what the watercolors are all about, just because they're so different from acrylic paint. When I first started, the first time I used them, I tried using them like acrylic paint and it didn't go too good. But okay. All right, here we go. Let's get some. Did he get up? Thanks. Okay, Jack's comfy, so we should be fine for a while. They are, and they're so different. But the white's I like how this white's kind of making it all blend. And then having like, I was thinking about doing those doodle clusters on here, having a lighter background might be good for the doodle clusters. Let's get some more. Get a little, go with this and see what happens. All right. A little bit of purple in here. So this is a completely different color scheme that I did before. It was more blues and yellows. So I think we're going to go more with the blues and reds and kind of get the purples going here. Yeah, we know there's a troll. We're just getting rid of him. It's either that or not stream. And as long as I can't see it, I can keep my focus on here. So anyway, it is obnoxious, but we don't care. We really don't care. Okay. All right, let me dry this. Right, Tina? And there's your earworm for the day. Just keep it deleting. Okay, so I am gonna stay on till I get this masterboard done because I really want to show you the technique I used with the ArtFoamies stamps. It's really fun. It's a really fun technique. So I'm here. I'm here for the long haul. Ooh, I kind of like. See, I haven't tried going in with the white like that, and I kind of like how that kind of pulls out the colors. Kind of blends the colors too. Okay. Anyone watch the Emmy Awards last night? I had forgotten they were on. I saw a little bit of it, but I missed the red carpet. That's my favorite part. I love seeing what everybody's wearing and see what colors are in and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so Terry posted in the group. I'll get that in a little bit, Terry. Thanks for playing along. Thanks for hanging in there and playing along, Terry. All righty. Okay, I kind of like this. Terry is a trooper. You all are troopers. Thanks for hanging in there. Thanks for hanging in. All right, and then sometimes I'll go back with maybe one of the darker colors. Just to bring a little bit of depth. Okay. Oh, you know what I'll do because I've been wanting to practice editing videos. But I think now I have a question for everybody. When you edit your YouTube video, does the chat go away or does the chat always there? Let's do this. Okay, the chat goes away that you edit. Okay, so what I'll do is, yeah, that's what I thought too. Okay, so this will be good. This will be a good stream to play with and edit because nobody wants to see this chat. And I'll play around and edit this because I don't care if the chat goes away on this one. Usually I kind of like to keep the chat. Just because not that I go back and really look at it, I just like to keep it just in case for people that are watching and stuff like that. So this will be a fun one to play around with. All right, so all right, this is fun. Now I'm relaxed. Yeah. Yeah. I'm a pretty positive person. I'm usually my main thing is I can justify any buy. That's my thing. I can justify anything, especially a purchase. So, but thanks, Tina. Thanks, Tina. I just thought of that now. I'm like, oh, this might be a good one to play around with the editing. All right. And then when I post it, I can just get rid of all the crap in the beginning. I'll just start it like from when I started this, maybe, or I don't know. We'll see. Right. So this needs it. Now I kind of go back and maybe fill in a little more color. See where it might need a little something, something. And like I said, it's going to look really ugly here until I take the tape off. Because, all right. Okay, so now I could do this all day, but I do want to show you that technique. Okay, Devin. Yeah, we all need our coffee this morning. I've got my Diet Coke. Okay, so let me dry this, and then I can start doing the other layers. I do a couple more layers before I put the stamps on. So okay, so while we're waiting for this to dry, I do have some questions for you guys who work in watercolors. What what I know there's two kinds of watercolor papers. There's hard pressed and there's cold press. Cold press is it has a little texture to it, and hard press is more smooth. Is that correct? And if you use the cold press, if you use the cold press, what is it? How is it when you're like drawing over it and doodling and stuff like that? So you want to make sure before you go on to the next layer, you want to make sure this is pretty dry. Right, Dee Dee? I know. I know. You know, there's enough of it going around. We kind of come here because we share a common interest in art and the love of art. So I'm not going to let anybody take that away from me. That's why I just want to keep going, because now that I got started, I'm actually enjoying this. So, okay, so Janet says the texture doesn't bother me. Now, Janet, so you usually use cold press? You usually use a cold press when you do your watercolor, Janet? Almost always cold press. Okay. In the okay, so the texture doesn't bother you. It doesn't affect how you draw or anything like that. Good to know. Good to know. Okay. Okay, Tina buys whatever's the best deal. Okay. Cold press is better for granulating colors. Oh, that's granulation is beyond me. I think I do get some granulating though in here when I layer my stuff. Probably depends what kind of watercolor. Like you have to have certain watercolor paints to make granulation, or you put the granulation in. Is that correct? Okay, so this is pretty dry. In here just to give you a peek. See, I love taking like these little peeks. See how that makes just a clear edge? I got to press that down really hard because I have no patience. Okay, Belinda likes the B watercolor and the pen gear watercolors. Okay, I have B watercolor. I don't have any pen and gear. Okay, Laverne, thanks for being here. Okay. Yeah, I have B watercolor, and I think I have hot and cold of B. I know, I love that clean edge. Okay, so this is dry. This is dry. Make sure this is really dry because when you put this next step on, if it's not dry, it's just going to run. Oh, Jackie, he got up. Now he wants to go upstairs. All right. All right, Devin said, if cold press is extra rough and not great for drawing or stamping, I find the Cansa you're using is a nice amount of texture. Yeah, that's why I ordered this. I didn't say if it was hot or cold. I just ordered it because it was a good price, and it has a tiny bit of texture, but I think it'll be good to draw over. So, okay, so this is dry. This is dry, and I have some golden carbon black fluid acrylic in here. And these are the fine line applicators. Oh, fun, Terry. Terry got her happy mail from Dee Dee. Hopefully you'll get yours soon. I just mailed it last week, so we'll see how long it takes. And then here, just to add a little bit of interest, just another layer. And I'm noticing if you go fast, you're getting like little dashes, or a little bit slower to get the lines. And again, this looks horrible. It really, but it will look good when it's done. So we let this dry before I put the gold on. So let me dry this. I know, Tina, right? I always like, oh, I'll have to try that. That's not bad. And a lot of times I like that they have them because then there's some stuff like this. I'll buy this paper again. It's good to play with. All right. All right, so like I said, make sure this is dry because what'll happen is the next layer will run. All right. Okay. So has anybody else been doing any of the grid art lately? I know it was kind of big about a year ago, but it's really a fun way to practice different techniques and to use up your ephemera too, I think. Okay. Okay, let this dry a little bit longer. Let me see if I can adjust my color here because it's not, the color's a little faded. Let's see. Show a little bit more. Here we go. Yeah, that shows a little bit more of the color. All right, so I go over with the black, and then, okay, with the gold, I have a standard tip for the gold, and then I have a fine tip. I need to practice with the fine tip doing doodles. It's hard for me to get the right amount out for the doodles. Hold on. Okay, Devin said she's been enjoying her grid journaling and her 6x6 delusions journal. Okay, cool. That's right. You've been doing a lot. You've been doing grid art. And then Linda said the Pen and Gear watercolor paper is listed as paint pad, heavyweight paper, ideal for watercolor, acrylic, and acid free. It just doesn't say what the weight is, but it feels like 140. Okay, so that's pretty thick, Belinda. I'll have to look at that. And you get that on Amazon? Okay, Sophia's been doing the grid with the Louise Fletcher reboot. Okay. And she's got several she might even frame. I love them because you don't know what you're getting. Yeah, post them in the Facebook group. Okay, Kathleen has done them and now she's playing along. Okay, thanks, Kathleen. I love when you guys play along. All right, so far I've just been doing just the lines with the gold because every time I try to doodle, I get too much paint. You guys have any tricks about laying down the paint with the fine liners to do more doodles so I just don't have to do lines all the time? See, even some of this is on pretty thick. I think it's because the ink is so thin. Okay, Pen and Gear is a Walmart product. Oh, okay. I have a Walmart close by. Okay, cool. Here, let's see. Because I'd love to be able to do little doodles with this, but I feel like I just get too much ink comes out. I don't have enough control over it. There. Okay, Sophia said I ended up using Neo 1s and polychromos on top of the paint for the ones I reckon I could save. And the effect was really pleasing. Love the grainy texture I could get with the pencils. Oh, cool. Okay. Let's get this dry so I can use the ArtFoamies stamps because it's really I think it's fun. I think it's a really fun technique. Okay, Starla says, okay, try changing your angle, don't squeeze. Let gravity do the work. Okay. What I need to do is get out my art journal and just play around with it, not experiment while I'm working on something. Thanks, Starla. I'll try that. not dry. All right, so some stuff, I think I'm going to go, shoot. I'm going to go along the tape and get rid of some of the blotchy stuff so I can use my stamps. I just don't want to get the ink on my stamps right now. So the only place I'm doing this is where there's tape. Everywhere else, I'm letting it dry on its own. Just want to get the blotchy stuff away so it doesn't get on my stamps. Yeah, I find that it does take a while for the ink to dry, the gold ink. Does that happen to other people too? It stays wet for a while. All right. All right. There, I got rid of a lot of it. Let me go over it one more time. Oh, I will, Dee Dee. I will do that. I have to go to the dentist, but then afterwards I'm gonna go through and edit and put my troll list on there. I never had to do that before. I'm so mad. Yeah, I know. All right, let me try to get all the little blobs dry. Okay. So hopefully, okay, I gotta take another peek. I love looking at these. See, oh, that looks so good. All right, put it back. We're almost done. Okay. Yeah, that's a good point, Dee Dee. Does it work different if I delete them from StreamYard or if I delete it from where I'm watching on YouTube? That's a good question. And I was going to ask StreamYard for help, and it used to be that somebody would come right back and talk to you. Now it just had a whole list of things like click this, click that. I'd like forget that. So, all right. So let me get my stamps out. Remove the watercolors because we don't need these anymore. All right. Okay, so these are the two These are the new Seth Apter stamps for ArtFoamies. You see, this one has like little crosses and dots, and then here's the circles. And what I like to do with these, especially the big ones, is use my jelly plate as an ink pad, and I put the black golden paint on it. Let me get some of that. Let me get my jelly plate so we can do that. So I've got my jelly plate over here. And let me get my black carbon. Hold on. And I'll show you what the different Seth Apter stamps look like. Okay, so I just all right, so I just roll out the black acrylic paint on here, and then I clean the brayer off. I rub the extra paint from the brayer right onto the ArtFoamies stamp. And then I take the ArtFoamies stamp and put it on the jelly plate to make sure it's inked up really good. And then I press down. And there's the circle one, which I really like. And then here's the other one I used. I don't have the names of these, but if you go to ArtFoamies, Seth has a pop-up shop, and I think they're good for a month. Or that you're able to purchase them for a month, and you can only get them through ArtFoamies. He won't be selling them on his website. Okay. All right. So it's this one. I knew what you meant. I knew what you meant, Devin. Okay, so here I did get a little bit of paint on the sides. That's a thing. Don't press down hard on the jelly plate because you will get paint on the side. And what you need to do when you press down, don't press hard. Just like tap it lightly. And then you don't get the ink that's on the sides. Yes, I would. And I'm debating. I wanted to cut the circles apart, but then I like them together. And you'll see for this technique why I like them together. But yes, I'm thinking of maybe ordering more and cutting so I have them both ways, some cut apart and some together. But for this technique, I like them big. So you'll see. You'll see. All right, now these other ones I haven't used yet. Let's get these out. Okay, there's two other ones. Ugh, don't get paint on your hand. All right. So alrighty, so here's this one. I know this one's called Enzo because it has the open circles. And that's what the Enzo means, is an open circle. So there's that one. Let me get some more paint on here. Ah, here it is. That needs more paint. Okay. All right, so put this one here. There we go. So that's the Enzo. And then there's one more, which is more like a grid pattern. And I'll put the paint on here. And I'll press it on my jelly plate. And then we got that here. Okay, and then there's this one. This is a grid pattern. These are just 4 of them. I think he's got 8 altogether. He has some with numbers. He has some other ones. I just got these 4 because I like the circle things. So now I'm going to use them on here, and I'm going to show you why I really like this for this process. Okay, let's do... Thank you, Devin. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What I usually do is I will take a baby wipe and to get most of the acrylic paint off. And then as soon as I'm done, I rinse them off with soapy water. But as long as you you use a baby wipe, it gets most of that paint off. And also too, you could take have a bucket or a tray or something and keep them in the water so it doesn't dry. But yes, it's very important to do. All right, so yeah, Sophia said use a small tray or a plate to keep them in water. Very important. All right, and then we've got this here. All right, I am going to grab another jelly plate because I do want to use 2 different colors. And then wipe your hands off so you don't get the paint all over what you're working on too. All right. All right, let me get another jelly plate. Okay, so I think I'm going to use a bright, maybe a bright green. No, I'm going to put 2 different stamps on here. The first one I'm going to do a bright yellow. And then I'll do the black. All right, so here we go. And I'm going to use these. Okay, so here I'm going to use the crosses and the dashes, and I'm just going to pick a spot and put it over. Put paint on. Do this, and then this way it's all randomly on your little art areas. And like I said, this is going to look like a mess. but that's okay because when you take the tape off, it's awesome. And then let's do this down here. Okay, so we've got the yellow. And then let's dry that. We'll put the circles on and then we'll be done. And the acrylic paint dries pretty quickly. All right, so now, all right, this is my favorite. These circles I think are my favorite. So I want to make sure that yeah. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit more paint on here. Okay. All right, so get the paint on here. Oh, you couldn't really? Could you? So you couldn't hear my you didn't hear my heat gun? Oh, I wondered about that. My mic is like, here's where my mic is too. My mic's right here and my heat gun's here. So that really works good. I'm happy to hear that. Thanks, Steph. And I always wondered about that. Okay, so again, just randomly go across. Hi, Alyssa. Yeah, it does. It does. It does. I like my mic. It's a good mic. Okay, so let's do this. Another one here. So I just randomly do this. And then you can go back if you see blank spaces. Ah, not much on here. Let's see. All right. Now, the best part. So this looks like a mess. All right, so this looks like a mess. The first time I did this, I was so over it because I'm like, ugh, this just looks like I'm not gonna say, but once you start pulling off, oops, how did I do this? And hopefully you put them on in a good way so you can get the tape off easily. I must have been distracted when I was putting my tape on. Here we go. Oh. Alrighty. So here we go. Okay. Now this one has to come off. It's kind of like a puzzle. All righty, here we go. Okay, let's do this one. Yeah, and just kind of go a little bit slow because sometimes some of the paint will start to pull up and you just stop and get it from the other end. Oh, thanks, Star. And ta-da, here we go. So here we go. So now you can go through, you can add ephemera, like I'm going to do with these. Gift tags. It'd be a cool way to make gift tags. It would be a cool way to make ATC cards. So like with these, I've got the collage soup. I'm going to put these little birds on here. And then with this, I may do, ArtFoamies has some silhouette stamps. I might put those on here. Woo, we did it. We made it till the end. All right. And then also, so I may try doodling. I may try to do some doodling, like the little doodle clusters and see, Dee Dee, thank you for sticking around. Thank you so much. Have a good one. I don't know. I'll kind of look at it and play with it. You could even just leave them like that and use them for cards or something, you know, make little gift cards or use your Rolodex punch, put them in your Rolodex. So yeah, but for me, this is just a fun way to play with watercolor and kind of get to know how they work and stuff. Ooh, so thanks everybody. It's been it's been fun, a little hectic in the beginning. Thanks for sticking around. I hate to let the trolls get to us, so we stuck it out, and thanks to my good mods, things, I think they went away. So thanks everybody for watching. I will go through later and edit this. I'll probably start it. I'll see. I'll take out the parts that were where I wasn't really doing anything. I'll probably show the beginning and then I'll start it again where I work on this. So, but I'll be here next week. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Check out everybody who's streaming tomorrow. And Devin, Aunt Beck, Art Junkie, Dee Dee in the morning. It's Wednesday's a big day. So, oh, thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.